Let's welcome to the show former National Security Advisor to former Vice President Mike Pence. He's retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg. General, it's good to have you on. It's great to see you. Okay, sir, why do you think the White House is waiting 4 days now to respond to the drone bombing by an Iran-linked group in Jordan that killed 3 soldiers and injured more than 40? What's the delay?
Yeah, Liz, thanks for having me. Well, here's what I'm hoping they're doing. They're loading up. And what I mean by that is there's 3 parts of deterrence, and they're trying to reestablish deterrence in the region. One of them is communications, that you're telling what you're going to do. In other words, don't do something. The other is capacity, which they've got with plenty of weapon systems there. And the other is credibility. And that's where they're at, is on the credibility piece. I think what they're putting together is like a campaign plan. And what I mean by a campaign plan, it's not one and done. They're going to do multiple targets over multiple days. And then you have to ask the question, what tier level of targets are they going after? To me, the tier 1, the top targets are inside Iran. And I don't think they're going there. They're going to go to the tier 2, tier 3, probably tier 3 level, which that means they're going to strike in Iraq, or they're going to strike in Syria, or they're going to strike in Yemen. The problem is, it goes to what I said at the start, you have to reestablish credibility. And if the other side doesn't believe you're credible, and it's, in other words, a glancing blow, you're going to get more of the same. So what I'm hoping for is they're building up a campaign plan that's aggressive. Honestly, I don't think they're going to go there. I don't think they're going to build up a plan that is going to be very credible to the Iranians, and that's who's actually driving this show. They're the main sponsor of Hezbollah or Hamas or the Houthis. That's where all this stuff is coming from. And you've got to show them, Liz, that we're serious, and I'm not convinced we're going there.
Okay, because here's what's happening, too. The Iran-backed Houthi terrorists of Yemen said they fired several anti-ship missiles at a U.S. warship in the Red Sea. Yeah. And that missile was shot down by the USS Gravely without injuries or damage to the ship. We're hearing reports that the White House is preparing weeks of retaliatory strikes. What do you think, weeks?
No, I don't. Liz, they can't go weeks. Weeks is way too long. You don't send a message. It becomes norm. By the way, the ship you're talking about, from the reports I'm hearing, they used the phalanx system to finally down that missile coming in. If they did that, that's the weapon of last resort. That means that missile was very close to hitting a warship. And if they hit a warship with the casualties that could come with that, that's a real escalation. So when they talk about weeks, weeks to me doesn't mean anything, because there's not enough targets out there. They need to go downtown. Okay. If they make it serious, they need to go after tier 1 targets inside Iran. I just don't think they're going there, Liz. They're going to bypass it. There's
confusion about the Biden policy here, right? And the confusion, starts at the top. You're going to see that, and you're going to then watch former National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien. Watch this.
What is your message to Hezbollah and its backer, Iran?
Don't
come across the border. Don't escalate this war.
That's right.
Tony Blinken said that it's the most dangerous time since 1973. I disagree with him. I think it's the most dangerous time for the world, not just for the Middle East, since 1938. Just 3 short years ago, we had peace in the Middle East. We were working towards a peaceful settlement of Afghanistan. The Russians were deterred. We were putting the Chinese in a box. Taiwan was safe. And now everything in the world is aflame. And it's because President Biden moved away from a peace through strength posture that President Trump had into an appeasement posture.
Lieutenant General, your response to that?
Yeah, I served with Robert in the White House. He nailed it. He's right on the money. You've got to have strength. You've got to use strength to bring it back into the box, and we haven't done it. The thing that scares me more than anything, what Robert said, this isn't 1973, which Tony Blinken talked about. That's how dangerous the Middle East is. When Robert O'Brien is talking 1938, that's when Chamberlain went to Munich and said, peace in our time. And within 1 year, the world was at war. That is a big consideration, and that's the big concern now when you've got the Middle East, you've got Europe right now, and you've got the Far East. We may be heading there, and Robert's right on the money.
Got it. Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg, thank you so much for joining us and for your service to America. It's good to see you.